first of all, there's a lot of presentations, so to kind of re-engage you, can anyone give me a woo? Like, again, woo? Thank you, good. All right, so I'm Chris, this is Bhagya, this is Aarushi, this is Pim, and we are UQ Economics Team 1. Now, I'd like you to just imagine for a moment that you're a health researcher. There's more data than ever, there's more kinds of data than ever, and it's coming in faster than ever. This provides a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities, and you need flexible ways to address these. And one of the things you need is flexible consent. Now you would imagine that you're me. You have a deep, abiding love of research and a bitter hatred of administrative tasks and having to agree to things that you don't understand. So how do you deal with a problem like me? Well, you need to keep me engaged over time, and you need to actually make me informed before I agree to things. So conceptually, we kind of think of this as like a cost-benefit problem. And the issue is that the costs are uncertain, and the benefits are mostly in the future, and they're not really that obvious. So we want to specifically target 18 to 45-year-olds because these are going to be online solutions. And we're going to target these cost-benefit issues with, first, an easy-to-understand portal interface. So we'll give them 3 questions that answer major points about this cost-benefit issue. And we'll explain things both in simple text explanations and visually. We're going to give people an opportunity to share their impact with friends on social media. And then we're going to give them control of how we follow up, as well as give them encouraging messages that keep them motivated to stay engaged. And to explain more about all of this, I'm going to pass this clicky boy to Bhagya.
So we were talking about costs and benefits. What are the costs? What do you think? In our sense, the main cost here is the uncertainty of our data, like how my data will be used. So there's a lot of risks there. So they don't know what data will be collected, who will be using my data, how this data will be stored. So there's a lot of uncertainty and ambiguity there. And we know people do not love ambiguity or uncertainty. On the other hand, what about the benefits? The benefits are not super clear. They are not very explicit. And the thing is that the benefits are for the society mainly. So they are not very individualistic, but societal. So when we are promoting or giving solution, we need to focus on more pro-social behavior promotion. On the other hand, when we talk about costs and benefits, the cost of this mentality of uncertainty occurs at the point of the decision making, right? That means it's at the present. But these benefits come in the future. And we know people are kind of present biased. That means they value the present more than the future, right? So whatever the solution we give should address this present biasness as well. So what are the solutions we give? We say that our solution, one solution is give explicit information, like we explicitly inform them what data are we seeking for and why do we need this data and why does it matter. But remember, this information should not be super overloaded because otherwise they will be bored or like they will miss the important parts. So we recommend, like ideally, use the visual representation to give how present the data. So it would be easily understandable by anyone, like how the data is used, how they are stored. So in this way of information provision, we can overcome the uncertainty or ambiguity, as well as with this visual representation, we can overcome the information overload problem. On the other hand, we plan to give some peer comparison information, like who have already provided information. So this peer information might act as a promoter of a pro-social behavior because they see that what else the others have done. Moreover, this information will act as a reference point, like others have provided it, so it acts as a reference point. Further, this would help for the individuals who have kind of cognitive uncertainty because there's a lot of information. Not everyone can absorb the same information and do the optimal thing. So when they see a lot of others have done the same thing, this might direct them in the correct way or the optimal way through reducing this cognitive uncertainty. To explain this further, I pass it to Aarushi.
Great, thanks, Bhagya. So as she mentioned, the main issue is privacy, right? I want to feel secure that my data is not going to be misused. I want to feel secure that no one can actually come to my house using this data. So before the patients or the participants get to the portal, we want them to see this massive visual, kind of first asking them, should I provide my healthcare data? Is it confidential? We want to tell them in big, bold letters, yes, your name and your address will be anonymized. Anonymized, de-identified, confidential. We understand it. Maybe some of us don't. So we want to make it absolutely clear what these words mean. We're clearly going to tell them before they even start giving the consent, no one will know who you are from this data, so no one will be able to track you down in your house. Before they even start this consent form, we want to engage curiosity. We want to let them know they're not alone, such as a fact. So did you know, or do you know, 9 out of 10 Australians are willing to share their healthcare data with the Department of Health? Well, if you tell me that, and I'm not feeling alone, I feel like I'm part of, this club. I'm not feeling alone, so, well, I might provide my data. Well, then they are forwarded to a consent form. They give consent on various data they want to, the data they want to provide. After they've done giving this consent, we want to make them feel that they are a part of a club. I'm part of the data club on the right. What we are trying to do here is trying to get that sense of belonging. Let them know that they're part of this rare, really cool, exclusive data club, right? And what do I want to do then? I want to share that with my friends. So we're going to have links for social media. LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, so they can actually share this with their friends. And we're talking about 18 to 45 years old, so social media rates are quite high there, and they are very active users. So once I'm sharing it with the world, not only am I getting current personal benefit, also I can attract new engagement. So now I'll pass it to Pim to talk about dynamic engagement.
So the final big question is that how can we keep patients connect with us after the first consent giving? Because the traditional email quite boring and unattractive. So we changed 2 things. The first thing, at each time we ask for consent, we would like to ask the patients about their preferred period of renewal consent, and also ask whether they would like to receive the information about the new project that's coming in the near future. This highlight to give the consumer the sense of control on their own information sharing and make them feel comfortable about this activity. And this also don't upset the consumer by sending too many annoying emails. So the second thing is that we change the language in the message that we send to the patient. Instead of formal language, we change to the encouraging message. Don't lose your impact. And this will help the patient to recall all those social benefits that they could make. And this also don't make them procrastinate their consent decision making after that. And that's it. Thank you very much.